And I hope you can hear me, please. Welcome to my live stream. Hold on. I want to make sure, yeah, this is better. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Welcome to my live stream. Thank you all so much for watching. This evening, we are going to look at living in Sweden. Sweden is one of the countries in Europe. So I'm going to bring my friend who is like a sister, like a childhood friend to me. For those of us, like, if you don't know what it means, like how it feels or what living in Sweden is as an immigrant or someone that is not maybe born in Sweden, then this is what this live stream is all about. Please help me share this video and keep tapping on this video so that other people can see it. If you keep tapping, it will gain visibility and Facebook will um start pushing it out there. So that is the topic for today. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Chisom. I live in the UK and I am a registered nurse in the UK. So welcome to this live stream. I hope you can hear me. And during this live broadcast, if you like what I do, you can support me by sending stars to me, which they help me earn money so I can create more content. So this is what this topic is all about today, living in Sweden. Thank you guys for joining. We are waiting for our guests so that we will start. Please help me share this live if you're seeing me. Thank you very much. We are going to look at living in Sweden. Living in Sweden.
Hi
Hello.
everyone.
Hey, Kosi
I'm
Alpha.
fine. How are you
I'm fine.
doing?
You look so good. It's really good to see
Same here,
you.
sis. Good to see you.
How is your family? How is everybody?
We are fine. And how is your family doing? Hope everyone is
Okay.
fine.
Yes, we are fine. Thank
Yeah,
you very much. We will not waste time because obviously we all have things to do and
of course.
it's over. It's getting late. So
Of course.
we'll give it like maybe 2 more minutes or 5 more minutes so that we'll see if more people can
Yeah.
join and then we can start if that's okay. Please, good evening, Nelly.
Hi
Please help
Nelly.
me
Good evening.
tap on this video and also share this video so that it will reach more people. The more you share the video, the more Facebook pushes it out there and more people will see the video. So just like I said, we are looking at living in Sweden. If you if you are interested to know what it's like to live in Sweden, especially as an immigrant or especially as someone that is not originally from Sweden, if you want to know like generally what it feels like or what living in Sweden is like, just in case if you want to, maybe if you want to, even if you don't want to move there, if you want to like go on holiday there, this will give you like a general idea so that you understand what
Good to see you, Nelly. Thank you.
So yeah, I know because a lot of
A lot
people have not.
of people will be good to see you.
How far exactly? I know many people will. They will be so happy. They'll be like, is this not cozy?
Is
Because
this not cozy?
they've
Yeah,
not seen you for a while. Honestly, it's really
my
nice to
sister.
see you. Really nice to see you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
It's true.
so I think we've given it enough time. People will still join, and after the live streaming, we'll post it out there.
Yeah.
Kosi, you can share if you tap on your screen, you can share it on your page now, so that other people will join as well.
Yeah. Doing it right now.
Okay.
So
Kosi, can you please just a little introduction? Can you introduce yourself? Like, tell us like who you are briefly, not too much.
Yeah, as you all know, my name is Kosi. From my page name, you know already. My name is Kosi Delights on my Facebook page. I have a YouTube channel as well, Kosi's Delights there, and I'm a wife, a mom of three beautiful girls. So I based in Sweden, as you know. So yeah, briefly, so you get to know more about me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really good.
Yeah.
If I may ask, how long have you lived in Sweden? As like, how long have you lived in Sweden, or when did you move to Sweden?
Yeah, I think how long have I lived in Sweden? It's 14 years this year,
Oh wow,
actually. Yeah,
that's a long time
yeah.
actually. Okay.
So
And
it's been
when
a
did you
quite
move?
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
When did you move?
I moved to Sweden, I think 2010. Yeah, December 2010.
That it's been a long time in
Yeah.
Sweden. So do you now have the Swedish citizenship? Are you now a citizen in Sweden, or are you a permanent resident there now? Because 14 years is like it's a long time. So even if you are not like you should be a
I'm like it's like I'm more Swedish now than Nigeria.
oh oh that's not surprising because 14 years is actually a long time. So
It's
I'm sure by
quite
now
a
you
long
have
time. Yeah.
integrated very well into the
Yeah.
system. Like you know well enough that if someone asks you anything about Sweden, that you can actually like educate the person. So that
Yeah.
is really very good. How did you move? Can you tell us like a little bit of how you moved from Nigeria? What prompted you to move to Sweden, or did you just go? Did they like how did you move to Sweden? Just tell us a
Okay.
little bit.
Let me say it this way. Love carried me to Sweden.
Love, that's
That is love. It's love that carried me to Sweden.
oh,
Yeah,
that's good
so
anyway.
I got married in Nigeria. Of course, my husband based in Sweden before we got married. So I studied in Nigeria. I did my university days in Nigeria, but my husband, of course, is working here. He's based here, so I have to move here to Sweden to join him. So I came here based on family ties.
All
Yeah.
right. So your husband was already a Swede was already living in Sweden.
Yeah.
After you guys got married in Nigeria, you now moved to Sweden
Yeah.
based on family
Ties.
ties, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. How long did the process take too long? Like when did you get married? When did you move to Sweden?
Yeah. I think mine didn't take that long because I would say because of my husband, his work, and the way he is, he lives in Sweden. So he has like the required documents and everything. So when I applied, it took less than, it's not up to a month. Then I got my visa and everything to join him in Sweden. So it didn't take that long.
That was really
Yeah,
fast. That
it
was
was
really,
fast.
really fast. That was a fast because I've heard people stay like for months before their
Yeah, some
maybe
people it can
visas
take
and
like
their
years. It can take like when you apply, when they have like things to investigate and all things, it takes like longer time,
yes,
and it depends on who that the person that is handling your case.
your case as
So
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I have a couple of questions here I'll ask you, and then after that, if anybody from the audience wants to ask you more questions, they can go ahead.
yeah.
So, generally, what can you say? Because as parents, or as someone that, like, as parents anyway, or even if you're single, you want to get married one day. So,
Mm,
what can you say generally about raising kids in Sweden? Because I think when most people want to move, I think first of all, especially married people, they will want to
mm.
consider, is the environment conducive enough, or is it a good place where you can raise your kids so that they can be very good members of the society without any maybe negative influence? We are all other adults, so you all understand what I'm trying to say. So generally, how will you say that Sweden is a good place where you can actually raise your kids?
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, Sweden is a very good place for you to raise your kids depending on the person, depending on the family. It's like everywhere in the world has their ups and downs. So it depends on how you want, the morals you want to impart on your kids and how you want them to grow. But generally, Sweden is a very good place. Based on their child care system, is one of the best in the whole world.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you elaborate? Yeah, when you say child care system, can you elaborate like a little bit more? Because people will want to know,
Yeah.
like, okay, you say child care, what do you mean exactly?
Yeah.
Because for you to say that Sweden is one of the in the world,
In the world, you can Google it.
small thing. It is not a small thing because
No.
the world is a very big place. For if you are putting Sweden at number one in terms of child care, then
Yes.
they must be really good. So can you explain more, maybe elaborate more what you
Yeah.
mean there?
First of all, Sweden, like I say, let me put it like this: you give birth to your kids, but Swedish government, they own your kids, basically. Not that they will take your kids, but they take absolute care of the kids that is born in their country. Like they make sure that their welfare is top notch. Both their schooling, healthcare, feeding, childcare support, and everything. They make sure that,
Do they give like parents money to feed the kids?
yeah, every
Really?
child born here in Sweden, they get money every month.
Really? Like is it every
once
child?
once once you are citizen and your parents, they have like their
Their
stay here in Sweden.
settlement, yeah.
Yeah, so they get money every month. So it now depends on the parents. Some parents will go ahead and maybe just open an account for their kids, save it for their kids, so when they get older, they can have the money. While some that need the support will still use it to support their kids. And their schooling is like free. But when you need to stay like, because here in Swedish system, school system, they have kids have right to go to school like from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening.
6 to
Yeah.
6. And there will be
So
teachers. You won't need to pay extra
yeah,
as a parent.
that's what I said, that Swedish, anything concerning kids, you see teachers, they treat and respect them more than, like, in Nigeria, when you say you're a teacher, they will be like, teacher. So what anything concerning kids, they don't joke with it. So for you to be a teacher in Sweden, you must be very qualified. You must know everything about kids, both their development, everything. So you really need to go to school and study for years. So because they don't joke with anything concerning kids in Sweden. So like they have the right to be in school from 6 to 6. So but from that 6 to 6, if you are staying like extra that time that is not like the time that is teaching, your parents pay like a certain amount of money, but it's not like it's that much.
Okay.
Yeah. But aside from that, if your parents are you able to stay with your kids at home doing these like hours, if you're not working, if it's just to bring them to school when it's closing time, you take them home, you don't pay any money. So it's only
That's
when you need
really
them to like stay like extra time, maybe you are working or you are studying. And if you are studying, you don't get to pay much money than the people that are working when your kid needs to stay like longer time. And their healthcare system is like
I was
one
about
of the best.
I was I think you are saying one of the best. The way you are saying this thing about Sweden. Yeah, I'll just pack and leave this UK
Please
and come here.
start packing. Start packing.
No.
Start packing.
Because the way you put them at the top of
No,
everyone else,
no. Is the best. I can testify to that. And
because
anybody that,
coming to healthcare, I was about to ask you how is their healthcare free? Like how free? How is their healthcare system? Because in some countries they complain about maybe ambulance taking too much time to come in case of emergency, A&E being too jam packed. Like I was not
no.
about their
Once it
things
has to
going
do,
on.
especially once it has to do with kids, they leave everything to attend to kids. Your child might be sick now and you call the ambulance now. Before, let me say, before 10 minutes, or you'll see the ambulance in your house. They'll pick the child up, give the child the treatment that they need without
Care free
collecting
as
any,
well.
free. No matter what the treatment is, even their medication is free.
Wow, you don't need to pay for anything at all.
No.
So let's for women, let's assume like you go to the hospital, you deliver your baby, you give birth. Is it still free? Like after delivering your baby, you just pack your bags and go home?
It's free. The amazing thing, they will even pay you for taking care of the child.
Oh, like they pay you because you gave birth to a child.
And you're staying home with the child.
Oh wow, this is we are really learning so much
Yeah.
about Sweden, because if just like you rightly said, when you go on Google, if you Google like the best places to live, Sweden comes up like one of the
Yeah.
top 10 places, and it's really nice because people and the only thing, what will you say? Because okay, now let's go to the weather. I think this is the part. Like, so how is the weather in Sweden? Like, how is the weather in Sweden? What would you say
Okay.
about Sweden?
With all the good parts. So if you're not able to cope with cold, please don't come. Yeah.
I know, right? Sweden
Yeah.
is really cold.
So we celebrate like sun. Anytime we see sun, it's like a celebration. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like
Hi,
during winter, the winter.
Oluchi.
So during winter, the winter will be wintering
It
and
will
will
it
give
will
like.
it will winter you die.
Oh my
when
goodness.
when you want to go out, that's the funny thing about Sweden here. When you want to go out, you might look at the window and you see the sun, and you will say, "Oh, it's very sunny today." You will carry yourself without your jacket outside. The way the cold will slap you inside, and nobody will tell you to run inside and dress up.
I'm telling you, it's almost like that here in the UK. Although the UK weather is not like as harsh as Swedish weather,
Yeah,
but at the same time,
Sweden
here,
can be very cold.
yeah, here in the UK, you may look out of the window and you see the sun, but it's not really
No,
sunny.
no, no.
It's not sunny. When you go out, you like the weather. It will be so cold that like even during summer, people still go out with warm clothes, because once
Mm.
it's like bringing, let's assume like the sun is coming down around like 4 p.m. It starts getting cold as well. So I can actually relate with that. So thank you very much for that. What about school? Like what I mean about school is, okay, let's ask this. What's the most popular job in Sweden? Which job do you think pays more in Sweden?
Like I said, one thing about Sweden is that when you come to Sweden, it's to change your way of reasoning and thinking. Yeah. So here in Sweden, they don't really do their work like, okay, because this one pays higher, I have to do it. You just have to do what you love. Because at the end, they will use the taxes to make it like everyone is the same. It might be slight higher, but not like it's that. So the best thing is for you when you are choosing a job here in Sweden, choose what you love, what you have passion for. Because if you don't have passion for that thing, you'll get frustrated.
That
Big
that
time.
that that's really true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you talked about teaching. Let's assume someone wants to become a teacher. How long does it take for someone to become a teacher in Sweden? How
I'm
long?
a teacher, so I can answer that.
I know. So because you said that you did your university education in Nigeria,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you moved to Sweden. Did you have to start afresh? Like, did you have to start another thing after this? I'm going to let you answer these questions together, one after the other.
Yeah.
I know that Sweden, they are not an English speaking country. So people say, I think this is the only barrier I would say that makes people okay whenever they think about Sweden, because they are not an English
Yeah,
speaking
they get
country.
scared.
Yes. So first of all, now they are not English speaking country, and you are coming from Nigeria, which
Mm,
is not like English is our lingua franca. So most people speak English in Nigeria, right?
yeah.
So and you moved from Nigeria to Sweden. Okay, so when you got to Sweden, did you have to start learning the language from like as if you are going to nursery school? Did you have to do that, like so that because they don't teach in English, so did you have to learn the language first, then before you go and maybe go back to school? Just tell us how it was.
Yeah, because when I got here, like you said, I had like I was in like a medical line in Nigeria, back home in Nigeria. Then when I got to Sweden here, first of all, for me to work with anything concerning medical line, I have to know their language and everything. So I have to go back, like you said, from like nursery school level. Yeah, for like someone that is in nursery one. back home.
Wow, that's is that not too? Oh my God, are you
So
serious?
yeah, when on the line, when I'm done studying with the languages, which took me like years, because you have to study it from like nursery school, primary school, secondary school level, like to university level, for you to be able to like know the language, being able to, like for example, if you're working with like a medical line, you have to talk to people, you have to
Exactly. You have to
communicate.
communicate. So it's
So
so
you really need to know the
important.
language. It's not like you just jump in like that and say, when they ask you, you don't know how to say the language or to write or to do it, you must know it. But on the line, after doing all those things, I even studied some courses that will help me to continue with my medical line. But at the end, I just, like I said before, Sweden has a way of changing the way you reason. First of all, like you said about kids, I have three girls, like I mentioned earlier. So when I came here, I was studying all these things. I was watching the system. I was seeing the whole thing when it was going. Meanwhile, back home, we always like profession based on the name. I'm a nurse. I'm a doctor. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a this and that. But when I got here, I found out that this is not really what I want to be. Yeah, this is not what I have passion for, because as a young child growing up, I always have passions to like caring for kids. So I said, okay, why not just go into this? So that made me to like have a longer way.
Wow. So how
So I
long did
have
it
to
take you?
like uh, forfeit everything that I've studied back home,
Yeah, like to
then
start afresh.
started everything from like scratch. It was challenging, but of course, I'm happy and I'm lucky enough that I have my husband who supported me all the way. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been that easy. It wasn't easy, but it wouldn't have been as easy as it was for me, because me then I wasn't thinking about, okay, how will I support myself, money wise and all that. My own is just to focus and study. So I'm grateful for that. I have him. He supported me so well. So, but the process was not is not something that is like that easy. It's something that it requires determination. It requires discipline. It requires courage. Because at that point, I was not like, okay, like some people will be like, you are my friend now. There's sometimes like I zoom off. Nobody will hear about me. Nobody will know anything now. So you really need to like maybe like shut yourself out from a lot of things for you to like be focused, because it's not easy like you coming into a language that you don't know, starting everything from beginning, trying to study in the university with it. And the university level here is not the way you study here, is not the way we study back home. Like studying after studying here, you know that what we are joking, we are just joking back home.
Oh my God. So how long did you stay and how long did it take you, like from university? How many years did you have to study to become a teacher in Sweden?
How many years? Only the university level to study to become a teacher. It took me like 3.5 years. Then the language school, from nursery school to like the university level. That was the one that took me like longer process. And you remember I said that I have to do like courses that when I thought that I was still going in the same line with the medical line, I have to do like those courses, which I still have. It's not a waste, but after that, I have to now like decide, okay, now I don't want this. And thank God, like I said, I have my husband. He was like, do whatever makes you happy. So I have to just like start everything from beginning again. So the whole thing, the whole process took me like nothing less than 12 years or yeah.
But the other one was because you left what you
Yeah,
thought you wanted.
but with the
But
language school, let me say, if the person don't want to like do like the way I did, the language school, let me not say, it will take you like close to 5 to 6 years. That's if you are fast.
Swedish.
If you are fast,
So what are you learning? Is it just to be speaking it, or are you learning the language to start teaching the language? That it will take you complete
of
6 years.
course they will want you to know the language. The way you are studying in English now, if you don't
Yes,
know a language, how will you read a textbook?
that's true.
Because with the university I went to, the whole textbook is written in Swedish. You have to do your presentation in Swedish. You have to write in Swedish. Now that I'm teaching, I have to talk to parents in Swedish. I have to write the documentation for kids in Swedish. I have to follow up kids'
Do you
development
teach?
and all
So
that in Swedish.
you teach your kids in Swedish.
Yeah, you follow up their development, their psychology, their everything. You have to write everything in Swedish. So you have to really know the language, not just, yeah.
That's true anyway. So, but do people speak English at all in Sweden?
Yeah.
Do people like? Do you see someone like when you come into a store? Obviously, it's just Swedish that everybody speaks. But do you speak English like at all in Swedish or in Sweden, or it's just Swedish? Everybody speaks that. Maybe apart from your home, because obviously
Yeah.
your children speak English.
Like you
But when
said,
you go
now
out,
I speak English. I might go outside and see someone else that don't understand Swedish. Of course, when they speak English to me, I
okay,
will respond
okay,
in
of
English.
course, okay,
That
okay.
doesn't mean that Swedish system that they like English is like no. Sweden, one thing is they value their language more than anything. So in order for you to go into the system, you need to learn the language. Not that you cannot find a job that you would do. It depends on the kind of job that you want to do. Do you understand? You can get a job, menial job, then be doing it, but still you still require the language at a certain point. Yeah, but there's some people like that might migrate from other countries, like they want to work for like there's some like companies that like they take people that speaks English, like Ericsson, Volvo. They have people, employees that speak only English, but that's it must be very good, like in tech and all those things. You must be very, 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 very good for them to hire you from another country. Because one thing with Sweden, they are very, very disciplined. They are very disciplined. It's a very good country, but if you want to live here, you have to go into the system. And you must be disciplined. Otherwise, they will help you to discipline your life.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is really interesting. I'm really, really learning loads, guys. Please, guys, share this video for me because as you share it, many more people will see it and Facebook will be able to push it to further to other people. So I want to ask, like, do you guys have like African food stores in
Yeah,
Sweden?
of course. Just that things they are expensive at African stores, but we have like African stores. When you're coming from Africa, you will not miss anything. Yeah.
Really good. One would think maybe it would be very scarce, although being expensive is understandable because they ship from Africa to Sweden. But I didn't know that maybe you would see
We'll see,
African.
but not as much as UK. No,
I
I don't think it's like UK. But we have like store, they call it Indian store, not African store. But they sell like everything
okay,
there.
okay,
You can
okay.
get like basically everything you need there. Yeah.
Another thing I would like to ask I think we've answered almost. Okay, no. So, are there pathways to maybe if you want to move to Sweden?
Mm.
What are the pathways one can use if you want to move? Let's assume from people like back home, they want to move to Sweden. What are the pathways, different pathways one can use when the person wants to move to Sweden?
Yeah, there's a lot of pathways. Like I said, one of them is family ties. If you have someone like a family member, husband, wife, or anything that is living here, you can come as a like a dependent or something here, and you can come through studies. There was a time that Sweden did. Yeah. Why
This
are you
is
laughing?
because okay, true studies is okay, but obviously, like unless the person understands Swedish,
No,
like
there's some courses you can read in English actually here.
there are courses you can study in English in
Yeah,
Sweden.
yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
Just
So people
just that when it has to do with like healthcare
can it has
and
to.
education, it has to be purely Swedish. But like IT and some engineering courses and others, you can study it in English if you want.
you may not be able to know, but how is the tuition? Is it like really expensive, like
No,
to study
I think
as someone
it's
that is not Swedish indigen or a British citizen?
there's a time that Sweden they did their tuition fee like it was like free tuition free
Like free for everybody.
for every like immigrant.
Yeah,
There was a time they did it, but unfortunately they've stopped it now. But it's not like that expensive. It's like normal thing that you pay like in UK or any other place that you want to study. But it depends. Some people when they hear that okay they don't speak English here, it scares them away. But
that's one thing.
yeah,
At least
but
it's good that you said
like I
it, that
said
they are
earlier, that does not mean that you cannot come here. If you come here and you know that you are serious in what you are doing, like you come in as a student and you study, there's some people that after studying they got jobs in the, like Volvo, Ericsson, other companies that you can actually work with your English while learning Swedish.
and I would say that like if someone is interested in going maybe moving to Sweden, because just like you said, it's not because it's you. And just like I said, if you go on Google and Google about Sweden, you would
Mm.
understand that the country is really nice,
Yeah,
and Google
yeah.
has many positive things to say about Sweden. However, it's just that language. Whenever the person hears that, or whenever most people hear that it's Sweden, or they don't speak English, it scares people away. People will think maybe they can't survive there, or there is nothing
Like I,
for them there.
like I said earlier, you can actually survive here. You can actually there's menial job. My way, I said my story. That is my story. That doesn't necessarily mean that it will be every other person's story. I have to study. I have to go through the path and get what I want because I was lucky enough to have someone supporting me. Otherwise, there's some people that will come here. They will find menial job that they are doing. It might not be paying them that much, but they will be surviving with their family.
Good anyway,
Yeah.
so that as you're doing that job, maybe non-skilled job,
Yeah.
unskilled job, you will now learn the language. You'll be learning the language at the same time. So when you are now good, you can now move over to
Yeah,
studying
like you
more.
mentioned now, non-skilled job or skilled job. That's another point because back home when you tell people to maybe learn some skilled work, they will be like, "Oh, you want me to go and learn to be a mechanic? You want me to learn to sew clothes? You learn." But actually, when you come here with such experience, it might be the thing that will save you here in a country like Sweden here. Because you might see like the company that will employ you just because you are so good in what you do. And you might end up earning more than people that even studied for years.
That's true, actually. So that means like people should, because honestly, people, that language barrier is really a big thing, especially for most of us coming from like Africa, Nigeria, or many African countries. Once they hear Sweden and it's not an English speaking country, people will be like, okay, this is not an English, but it's not entirely out of it. You can actually move there
Yeah,
and start from maybe somewhere, just start from anywhere and build yourself up to the point that
that you want.
you want, because
Of
the
course,
support is there.
nothing is built in one day. Even Dangote that we know that have a lot of money, he didn't just make the money in one day. You need to start from somewhere. That is life. So if you are willing to start, but one thing you will know that Sweden is not a place that you will do like some illegal dealings. It's not that easy here. So, but if you are once you are ready to, like you are hard working, you are ready to learn some skills, you are ready to study, you are ready to abide by their rules and everything, I think you will enjoy Sweden. It might take you a while to maybe to come into the system, but definitely you will get there. So it's not like something that it will be like a no. If you have the patience enough, when you get into the system, you will be like you'll be settled for life. Yeah.
So, but how long? Let's assume someone comes with through the student route or through the study route. Is
Mm.
there a pathway? Just like I asked, like after you finish your education, are you maybe supposed to will you have a pathway? Maybe get First of all, they're different. Like here in the UK, they have like the student visa. Then maybe after you study, you go from the student visa to the skilled worker visa. That's if you get
If
a job.
you
Yes.
get a job, of course,
Is
because it
it like
doesn't just
that as
go
well?
automatic like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes, yeah. Is it like that as well? Like you go from student visa when you
yeah.
get a job, you go from student visa to like skilled worker visa,
It
and
still
from
boils down to what I said earlier. Like if you come here as a student and you study, you really know what you are doing. Because like what I said here, Sweden, they are serious in whatever they are doing. They just want you to put your best. So if you are good in what you are doing, of course, when you can get a good job here and you change your visa from student visa to like a working visa or something,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that's really good. Does anyone, I think we have, do you have anything else you want to, maybe you think we've not touched? I think we've touched the most important thing we've talked about their education system. It's free. Is it free from till the university level for children that are like Swedish, like the citizens or people?
They
Is
can
it
even
free?
pay for you to go and study in another country if you want.
So are you saying that the Swedish citizens they don't pay tuition when they get to university level? Like they don't pay.
they
Your own is just
they give them money to study. They pay them to
pay
study.
anything. Like they
No.
don't do student loan, all those student loans.
Student loan, you can take student loan if you feel that what the government is giving you to sustain you is not enough for you. Not that you are taking it to pay school fees. Yes. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Go and Google it.
So like you can just go to school from nursery school to university as long as you are contented with what you have. You don't need to pay a dime for you, like you know that you are paying tuition fee to go to school.
No.
You don't need to do.
Once you are Swedish citizen, once you are born here, you are not
Yes.
paying. The only thing you need to, of course, you buy your textbooks.
That one is
You buy
different.
your computer that you need to study. But when they are in school, like normal uh, primary school, let me say primary school, because they don't call it primary school here. Primary school, secondary school, they give them even the computers and everything in school that they use in school. You can have yours at home, but in school, every child have computer. That's why when you see children in Sweden in school, you don't know the difference between, okay, my parents have money or my parents don't have money. Because like in school, they're like all the same. The government don't allow them, maybe even if your parents are not well to do at home, it doesn't show in school because they make them to all of them to be like the same standard.
That's really that's a good one because you know some people like here in the UK, the home students they pay tuition, international students they pay more, but the home students still pay. It may not be like as much as what international students pay, but they still pay and they still get student loan, which they pay back.
Yeah, here they have student loan, like I said earlier, but that depends on, like children that doesn't know what it means, like they suffered and this thing. They're not, they understand now.
True. They'll just want to be
So they will
balling.
just take the loan to just club in, and they, or not that they are using it to pay school fees or anything, because they will not tell you to pay school fees, and they will pay you. They pay them like monthly for studying. That money, like pocket money for them to use and take care of themselves. That one you don't need to pay the government back. But if you think that the money, for example, like they give them, for example, they give you 10,000. I'm using it for example. They give you like every student that is studying, they give them 10,000, depending on maybe you have a family or you have kids. They will rate it like you have how many kids. Okay, where you are studying and you are citizen or they are citizen. Okay, they will give you this money for like pocket money to have while you are studying. You understand? But if you feel like okay, that money is not enough for me, I want loan. Then if you apply for loan, that's the loan you pay back. But not that you are taking the loan for you to pay school fees.
School
No,
fees, oh, that's really
no.
good. That is really
Yeah,
a
and
good one.
another good thing is that if as a Swedish citizen born here, you can decide, okay, I want to study in Canada. So the Sweden, that money they would have paid for school, the government would have paid for school fees for you here in Sweden. They will still convert it to the money that you're going to pay in any country that you're going to study. So they will still pay your school fees in that country.
Hold on. I want to understand this very well. So in Sweden, like for their citizens or for people that have regularized their stay, right?
Yeah.
Let's assume I want to go to America to study.
Yes.
The Swedish government will still pay for me to go there and study.
They will pay for you. So far the money is not like more than what it's
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
be. Like,
yeah.
for example, if you want to study law here in Sweden, they know like the amount of budget they are budgeting for each person that's studying law. So they will give you equivalent amount of that money for you to use and pay for that law you're going to study in another country.
Still fund their citizens to go
You,
study in
it must
another
not it
country.
must not be in Sweden. You can go to anywhere you want and study.
The government will have to take care of your
That's what I
education.
tell you. You give birth to them in Sweden, but they are government speaking.
This is amazing. Like this is
So
really nice
Sweden is one of the best places to like start
to
family,
live.
raise your kids.
Oh my
When
God,
you
this could
have your
completely change.
kids here, of course you have to plan for your kids' future. You have to save for them. That one is just to make them to be extra comfortable. Do you understand? But giving birth to them here in Sweden, you have already given them brighter future.
Takes care of them from cradle
Yeah.
to whenever they want to go to. Like this is really good. This is a good one. I think because just like I keep saying it here, when you go on Google Sweden, people talk about Sweden like okay, another thing I want to talk about, how are they, like, like the Swede, like, are they like welcoming, are they warm, are they tolerative, or like how are they, like, are they very
Yeah.
welcoming?
That is another thing. Of course, there's in every country there's some people that will still behave somehow. So it's not everybody that is that welcoming. And I will not say it's all of them, and I will not say it's all of them that is welcoming or not welcoming. But it also depends on how you carry yourself, how you place yourself when you enter the country. If you come there and they see you as a liability, they treat you as a liability. But if they see you as an asset,
Yeah.
they treat you as an asset. So you choose the way you want to be treated.
That's really good. That is really good. Amazing, amazing. So, guys, this is like, if you've been here, you will see that this is like truly a very good conversation. Sweden is where you should be looking, especially this education thing. Hey, this is, don't let this language barrier stop you from moving to Sweden
Of
because
course, it should not stop you. And if you know, for example, now, if you know that you are good in IT, you are good in engineering, why not you just go online? If you know you are searching, maybe you want to relocate, go online and search for works in Sweden that is related to all these things the skills that you have. You might be lucky you will see a company that will be willing to at least like tell you, okay, submit your application, willing to interview you and all that. If you are good in what you do, why not? You might be lucky. And another thing, you can even learn Swedish online.
nothing anyway.
You can
That's
learn
true.
like the basic. It's
The
not like
basic
deep,
one.
deep, deep, deep. At least when they tell you how are you, you'll be able to respond. So there's like you can learn that online. If you are maybe planning, okay, I want to relocate to Sweden, you can start like, okay, let me start learning this small like this. You can learn just basics. You don't need to learn like so much like that. Basic,
Yeah.
and maybe learn some skills that maybe when you come here, you can be able to get like something doing while you keep pushing
Train
and
yourself.
looking for
Yeah.
something better. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because if you're able to come into Sweden and you're able to settle, like I said earlier, the beginning might not be so easy, but at long run, if you're able to like settle and finish everything, you are okay for life. That is me. So if you're planning on coming to Sweden, don't be scared about the language barrier. People have done it and they survived. You are going to survive.
That's true, guys. So this is it, guys. If you have any question, please, we have 5 minutes because we are mothers. Our children are at the background doing wing, 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 wing.
I need to go and read a bedtime story.
So, guys, if you have any question, you can just ask and put it down on the comment section so that Kosi here will answer you guys. And if you are not following her, please do well to go to her page and follow her. If you're not following me as well, you can also follow me. My page is Asachi Boy. Her own page is Kosi the Light. So, guys, if you have any question concerning living in Sweden, if you want to find out anything at all about something that we've not covered in this live stream, please go ahead and ask your question if you want to ask any question. So the topic is living in Sweden, because not enough people, or not a lot of people, know anybody that someone that lives in Sweden. But because I don't think Sweden is just like you said, it's a good country, but
Not,
because of that
not,
language
not
barrier.
everybody knows about Sweden, because they will be
Yes.
like, some people, when I tell them, when they ask you, where do you live? I say Sweden. They'll be like, where is Sweden? Not even everybody knows where Sweden is located at. So
Yeah. So
Sweden
guys,
is a very good place, like you said, to live in.
yeah.
And please, if you're watching this video, try to share. And sharing is not, it doesn't cost you anything to share.
Oh,
Please just hit the share button.
sharing is free. Nobody, Mark will not tell you to pay
So
because
you
you
might
shared
you might help somebody just through this video. The
Yes,
person might come back later to say, oh, it's just
yes.
because you shared this video to me that made me to get this. So share it, guys, share it, so someone can learn something from here. And let me, before I forget, let me hit it again. This issue of learning skills. If someone is telling you to learn a skill before traveling abroad, please take it very serious.
Yes.
Take it very here, like I said before, here will change your mentality, the way we reason back home in Nigeria, where I come from. They will see it like the only job that is good is like when you're a barrister, when you're a doctor, when you are this. No, learning skills, there's some skills that you will learn when you come to the abroad, like they say, like Sweden, UK, America, any place that you want to relocate. You will see yourself earning more than doctors.
That is very true. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
There is
please, if you know that
dignity in
you are
every
not
labor.
doing anything now, instead of just looking on the internet how I will travel abroad,
Yeah,
just
you use that
just
time
go and
to
register in
equip
one mechanic
yourself.
shop or
Exactly.
hairdressing shop.
Yeah, yeah, it's really, yeah, it's not
Register
even a laughing matter.
there first and be learning. Then
Yes,
while you are
yes,
searching online,
exactly. Equip
equip
yourself with a skill.
yourself, because first of all, when you're applying, they will ask you, what do you have to offer?
Because there's a question here. They said, good evening, ma. How can a registered nurse relocate to Sweden? Is IELTS required? First of all, I would say that IELTS is not required. IELTS means
IELTS is
International
Swedish IELTS.
English Language. So let me say that IELTS means International English Language Testing System.
Yeah, but I
So
can answer that as a this,
okay,
like I
okay.
mentioned earlier here. I had like this medical background from Nigeria when I came here. I didn't continue because I didn't want to continue. Not that I cannot work here with that. So if you study like nursing back home in Nigeria, you can actually work as a nurse here, but it will take like a longer time than like when you move to UK, because first of all you have to learn their language. That
That is it.
one is a must.
That is it. So
And
what
you will learn their language, then you have to take an examination like for a licensing to satisfy, because they don't joke with their health system as well. They will have to make sure that you say that you are a nurse. They will squeeze that knowledge out of you to make sure that you're a nurse.
exactly. So Agnes Michael, yeah. So
So it's
IELTS is
possible.
just for
It's
English
possible.
language countries. So I know a lot of people hear IELTS, IELTS. IELTS is just English
Mm.
International English Language Testing System. So for any country that is not an English language
There's
speaking
no need for
country,
IELTS.
there's
You
no
don't
need.
need it.
Yeah, you don't need IELTS. However, just like Kosi is saying, if you want to be a nurse, you must learn the language first.
Mm.
Okay. So after this live stream, you people have, at least you now have a background knowledge what it feels like, or what it looks like, or what living in Sweden looks like. Just go ahead and do your research. But yes, Agnes, you can move to Sweden as a nurse, but first of all, you must know their language, and you must prove to them that actually you are a nurse and you can communicate with our citizens in our language properly, deeply, without missing
Yeah.
anything. Because just like Kosi said, they do not joke with their language, they do not joke with their healthcare system, and they do not joke with children as well. So I would say
So
yes, you can move
these
as a
are the two things. Maybe you are locating as a teacher. As a teacher, I don't know if it's possible for you to work as a teacher here, because you have to still go under that, because these two things, they don't joke with it here, because they are very, very careful. People that handle kids, people that handle like human beings, their life and everything. So they don't joke with these two things. But as a nurse, it's not like a no, no, no. If you have like someone that will support you when you come here, of course you can be. But the only thing, you have to be patient. You have to be patient, and you have to be determined. That is one of it. You cannot just come and be like, you have to put like 100% in it for you to achieve it. So that is it.
Yeah, so Agnes, you got your answer. You can relocate. The pathway is not really clear because Kosi is not a
No,
nurse.
no.
However, when you go online, I'm sure you can do more research to find out how you can move to Sweden as an international trained nurse. However, what Coach is trying to say that no matter what you do, their language is a must, especially if you are in a healthcare professional that wants to work in Sweden. Okay, so that's it. Let's see if there are any more questions. Thank you so much, Georgina Eugene. Thank you. I really appreciate. So if you have any more questions concerning moving to Sweden or living in Sweden, please, we just have 2 minutes more, 2 minutes more, just 2 minutes, please, so that we can go back to our kids.
And I know some people, there's some things that some people will be like, okay, raising kids in Sweden. I know some people will be wondering, do your kids respect you, or do they have our culture and all that? Yeah, kids, they behave the way you want them to behave. I think everything starts from home. Like I mentioned earlier, I have 3 girls, and my daughter, my first daughter, her age mate, they don't know how to do anything. But my daughter, she cooks. She know how to cook. She know how to do some certain things, because what? Why? I started early to teach her, and teaching her doesn't mean that you have to use force.
Yeah,
You don't have
yeah.
to use force. So you just have to balance between love and there's a way they have to put balance for everything. It's not like you treat them the way they treat kids in Africa. You must learn this, you must do this. But with love, you teach them what you want them to know. Because if you don't teach them inside the house, when they go out, the society will teach them what the society wants them to know. So of course, the kids, they behave and learn the way you want them to learn by you starting from home. And also they are looking at you as an example. So you cannot be doing A and tell your daughter to do B. No, you must start from you first. So any way you want your child to behave, you just have to show them by your character. They emulate. Children, they don't just learn more from what we say. They learn more from what they see
You
also.
behave.
So
Yeah.
that is just it.
Hello, Joseph. We are not talking about nurses. We are just talking about living in Sweden generally for anybody. This is not a nurses anything. It's just that we are talking about nurses because someone asked a question about registered nurses moving to Sweden. So that's why you heard us talking about it. We are just looking at living in Sweden generally, everything that has to do with living in Sweden. So this is not about nurses alone.
But
So guys,
people that studied nursing, you can actually come here to do like a master's degree program, like in public health.
that would be better. I
You
think
can come
the
and do it like
thing is
because it's in English language. You can do it like public health. While you are doing it, you can try to combine it with the Swedish courses. So maybe if you are quick enough before you finish your master degree program, you must have learned the Swedish to a level that maybe you can use it to like take the exams that is required for you to use and work as a nurse here, depending on how fast and serious you are. So that is another way. If you have the money to pay like for master degree in public health, you that study like nursing or something might get like a master degree program like in public health or something. Yeah.
this is where we've been on this thing for like close to 1 hour now. So this is where we draw the curtain for today. Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much for joining. Please share this video. Just like I said, if you are not following me, my name is Asachi Boy. Please follow my page. And my lovely sister here, Kosi, is my childhood friend.
Yeah.
We've known for ages, like ages, honestly. So Oh my God.
Thank you, Nelly
Speaking of,
Sofu. Thank you.
should we, Joseph says, should we make use of agents in processing, or can she help by putting us through how to go about the processing? I think I'm not sure because we do help them, but I think it's
If
better
you
to.
if you have any question that you feel like, you can drop it on the comment section. If I look at it and it's something I can respond, because I don't have any cases like doing agent for somebody or something. I'm just sharing my own experience. So
Experience.
yeah, so if you drop any question and it's something that I can answer, I will answer. But I will be honest to you, Sweden, you don't need, if you are doing something, you don't need agents, because if you
I think
use
so.
agents, they're going to eat your money.
I
So
think
everything
so too.
about Sweden is clear and open on the
I think
internet.
so too.
If you
I will
want, if you want
apply.
to apply for your master's education, you see the schools. Just if it's help for school names that you need, maybe if you drop it and I have time, I can go back and look at it and maybe tips you on some schools that you can apply depending on the course that you want to. So, and you can do the payment yourself and everything. And the good part of it, if you get admission, everything that you paid for, you can come here, they will give you visa. And if they don't grant you your visa, your money will be returned back to you. So nobody is taking your money. So my advice, don't go through any agent. Do it yourself. Go to the
That's what I will
computer and do
advise
it
as well.
yourself,
I
please.
will advise as well. I don't
Mm,
think it's rigorous or it's not a rocket science.
mm,
I don't think it's something you cannot do for yourself, because
yeah.
Sweden is not like a very popular place that everybody knows. So even if you are going to use an agent, you have to make sure that this agent knows the in and out of doing what. So rather than paying someone to do something that you can do
You can sit
ordinarily,
down and do it on your own. And
yes,
Sweden here, you can get them on the phone, talk to them, they will respond to you, tell you the information that you need. They are not corrupt. So anything you need, they will just tell you, pop and play, how it's supposed to be. Nothing is to be hidden about it. So it's not, you don't need to go paying any agent money that will be taking money from you for no reason. So please don't do that, okay?
thank you so much for joining this live. I'm going to end
Yeah.
this live now. Thank you so much. So guys, go follow Kosi Delight on her page. She has lovely videos of she and her girl. She's a lovely mom, a very beautiful mom, like hot mama of three. You cannot believe it. She's so beautiful in and out. I'm not even joking. This is not even a joke, honestly.
Let me do like Nigerian people. Aww.
So guys, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
this
so
live.
much,
I hope
everyone, for watching.
you enjoyed this discussion. Thank you so much, guys. So follow Kosi on her page. If you still have more questions, please keep putting them on the comment section, and if either Kosi or I myself will answer it later. So thank you so much,
And
Kosi,
please don't forget
for
to share
coming.
this video, okay?
Please
Don't
keep
forget to
sharing.
share the
Share
video,
this
please,
video. Thank
okay?
you. All right.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye. Yeah.